Hello, everybody. So, I want to talk about this kind of ongoing narrative that seems to be out there that CRNA school like sucks, right? Like CRNA sucks, school sucks. It's hard, it's brutal, whatever. Insert the word, whatever you have to say. And I want to work on challenging that today. Is it a lot of work? You betcha. Is it challenging and difficult? Absolutely. Like 100%. It was for me. My like CRNA school journey was like literally a hot mess, like disaster. But right. And we tend to we hear about like how hard it is. And I have tests every other day and clinical is brutal and I get yelled at and I did it and we take all this, right? And then like you get started with school, or then you're in the middle of the applications, and then you've already got your like human brain, like you can't do this, and all this doubts building up. And if they're struggling, then I'm gonna struggle. And it just turns into this like whirlwind. And we're just like, you go in with this mentality, like this is gonna really suck, like this is gonna be terrible, this is gonna be awful, it's hard for them, it's gonna be hard for me. I already like struggle with self-doubt and this and that. And it's like this cycle. To drive this point home, I was literally putting an epidural, day I'm recording this, I was putting an epidural in like this morning or last night at like 10 p.m. And she was like miserable, but she sat still. She had an awesome freaking job. Didn't move, didn't make a pound, that's like a squeak, no noise. She did great. Popped it in, got her comfortable. And first thing she said was, "Oh my God, that was like nothing." She's like, "All I heard was how terrible the epidural was going to be and how painful it was. And the needle is big and da da da." She's like, "That was like nothing." And I was like, "Oh my God," right? Like, this is what we do. We take our perspective, we take our experience, we take our lens, the way we view the world. And not even meaning to, we kind of dump that on other people. And then they take that in. And then you have this whole like story in your brain already of how it's going to go, how you are, what it's going to be like. And then you're already starting school like behind the eight ball because you're just thinking like, this is going to be the hardest thing in the world. This is going to be so terrible. This is going to suck. Oh my God, how am I going to do this? Like, what if something happens? Like, da da da. And you're in all this flurry. And then what happens is you get to that like first test or that first clinical day, and your anxiety has just built up because all this stuff is like swirling in your brain. And then you see things on social or you go to forums, and it's like just this big cluster. Right? So here's kind of your starting point, right? Stick with me all because I'm going to solve all this for you, right? So here's where you started. This is you, right? I'll put an R there, but I decided to stick with the S and you'll see why. So you're scared, right? Your first thing is like fear of failure, fear of failing out, fear of humiliation, fear of looking dumb, like fear of just everything, right? And what happens when you go in so freaking scared, you play small, right? Playing small, scared, playing small. Second thing I see is you get so rigid. You're so rigid, like, you know, I'm so terrible. I can't do this. Like you just start beating yourself up. There's like no room for anything or any other like avenue than like you're just dumb and you don't belong here and you just beat yourself up. You just have this rigid mindset and these rigid thinking about things. Not smart enough. Oh, good old imposter syndrome, right? You're not smart enough. Who are you to do this? You're never going to make it, right? All that stuff. You have like zero self-compassion, right? Zero compassion on yourself, zero like curiosity as to what's going on. You're just literally like all in that doubt of like, I'm just not smart enough for this. I can't do this, right? And all of this leads to anxiety or being anxious, which leads to exhaustion, right? Can you see this? This is kind of a lot of the starting point, whether you realize it or not, because you kind of go in, you're like excited, you're like, I made it, I got it. And then you have like that first test and you like get a B. And then you like look over at your classmate who got an A and you're like, what the hell? And then it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna fail out. oh my God, I freaking suck. I'm not smart enough. Now I have all this anxiety. Now I'm exhausted. And then what you do is you search for all the ways to try to fix it. So I'm going to buy new highlighters. I'm going to get a new app. I'm going to ask everybody and their mama how they studied. Like you start looking all around you for someone to validate how you feel and you try to fix it. That doesn't have to be a reality. It doesn't have to be how you get through anesthesia school for the next 2.5, 3 years of your life while you're trying to become the CRNA, right? One of the first things I'm always going to talk to you about is making that shift, right? You're in SRNA mode. You're in like, I'm nothing. I suck. I'm not going to do good. You need to come over here into boss CRNA mode because school is going to be done and you're going to be the CRNA and you're going to have a lot of responsibility. And it starts with recognizing that responsibility right now, today, no matter where you're at in your program, right? This this is why I created the coaching program, right? Because I don't want to see anybody playing small, being rigid, beating themselves up, and just kind of living in this river of misery, this terrible place for longer than you have to. Negativity is always going to creep up. It's always going to be there, but you can use it, right? You can use it for something better. So this is my model, showing up with courage and being committed. Never spell this word. You think after all the times I talk about committed, I could spell it. Don't judge me. See, I'm a CRNA, I can spell committed, right? Showing up courageously. CRNAs are courageous. We are at the head of the bed doing badass things. We are committed. Stop looking for motivation. Stop looking for validation and just decide that you're in this and that you're committed, right? Resilience. I know you guys talk all about resilience in your interviews, right? What did you guys say? I'm resilient. I can bounce back. I persist. I persevere, right? Bring that here. Resilience. You know how you get to resilience? You know how resilience shows up? No, compassion. Seriously, you want to be more resilient? Be nice to yourself, period. That's how you get more resilient right here. Because then you're able to be nice to yourself, make a plan, and try again the next day and be able to repeat that over and over again without like beating yourself to death about what an idiot and how stupid you are, right? That does not serve you. That is not helpful. You guys, neutrality, not taking things personally, being neutral, taking feedback and constructive criticism, or even just people being nasty as just a circumstance. And like, okay, that's them over here. What do I think? What am I going to do about it? How can I look at this neutrally and logically and use it to be better? Keep some of it, throw the rest of it out, right? Not everything that we think and not everything that comes out of other people's mouths is true, period, right? This is all about relationship management, which is key in CRNA school because you've got your family, you got kids, you got partners, you've got friends, you've got preceptors, you got program directors, you got classmates. Like it's all about relationship management and being neutral in them, letting people be whoever the heck they want to be and you being who you want to be and not letting the two intersect or have anything to mean have anything to mean about anything else, right? And the last thing is awareness, being aware of what is in your control. And this is literally managing yourself. Like all that emotional intelligence questions, EI, behavioral, it's about being aware. It's about being aware of what you bring to the table. It's about being aware of like your emotions and how you feel and learning how to not react to everything, but just be aware of it, getting neutral and just managing yourself and your reactions, right? This is what we do in the coaching program. We take you from that playing small, fearful, anxious person, and we build you into someone that is courageous, committed, neutral, aware, right? Ready to do this journey, making plans to be nice to yourself from the first day you start, making plans to not quit because something didn't go your way, right? Like building you into a leader, into a CRNA, and giving you just the power, like giving you all your power back so you can show up. Literally, I have been talking to some of the people that have been coached by me literally for almost the past year. And this is what they've said. Amanda, I've been able to shift my thinking, right? Because we shift from SRNA thinking to CRNA thinking. One of them said, I show the F up every day. Basically, she was like, if anyone comes for me, I let them come for me. I take that feedback and I'm right back in the next day. My confidence has increased. Another person has said, it's okay to feel like crap and be negative. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything. I still got to get back up and keep going, right? Decreasing the time that you're down is so crucial. You're going to have hard days. It's going to suck at times, but it doesn't have to stay that way. You have the power to change that around at any second, any minute, at any day, right? Being coached is about the comeback. It's about the bounce back. It's about the breakthrough. That's what we do. That's what being coached is about. It's taking where you're at, that SRNA place where you're at, and moving you to where you want to be, changing all the crap you believe about yourself into something that we can use so that you can literally kick ass in CRNA school and just become the provider that you want to be, right? It's learning how to take your failures and evaluating them in a logical, high level skill. Because evaluating things is a skill. Implementation is a skill. Commitment is a skill. Compassion is a skill. Learn these now while you're in school, and you will like triple, quadruple your success and your ability to enjoy being in something that is so challenging. I promise. Another member said, I reset my focus every single day. I found new perspectives. I'm able to, we call it cleaning your brain, which is basically I'm able to focus. I'm able to get clear, able to get more done in less time because you're not working from this sRNA frazzle pace. You're working from CRNA energy, right? Because it's already done. One member even said, I'm learning to be more resourceful. You have so many resources around you. You even have your own body, your own mind. Like, I will teach you how to use all those resources, guys, right? And last point, and this is all we do. Easy as one, two, three. You learn to become aware of you. You learn yourself. You learn what madness is like looping in your brain so that we can cut that and get you to a place of productivity and enjoyment of everything that happens, no matter what, right? Learn to question. We learn to be more curious. You need to be more compassionate to yourself because I know y'all are the king and queens of beating yourselves up. Y'all are the king and queens of like reading yourself the riot act upside down, backwards, and sideways, right? And then all of a sudden you have like the next test and you're still over here crying about the last thing and there's nothing been happening in between. No more of that. We learn the skill of compassion and how to ask questions, which is a super big skill because you need to learn how to ask questions when you get a job and when you're in school, right? Big skill here. Third step, pulling from commitment. Pulling from commitment, being courageous no matter what. That's all we do. And you know how we do it? 30 minutes a week. For those of you like, I don't have any time. You do have time because getting coached is going to create more time because you're going to get to know what's happening in between your ears and what you can do to manage that, right? So 30 minutes a week, 5 to 10 minutes a day, and not even every day. You can do this, like do your 30 minutes a week coaching call, then a couple days a week. Like what's when you're feeling really kind of down, you take 5 to 10 minutes and I got something for you, that quick little exercise you can do, and you'll be on your way, ready to go tackle anything. You also get live calls with me. I pop on live 1 to 2 times a month. And email me. We can coach on stuff. If you have a question, I'll throw it in our private, exclusive Facebook page community with, I mean, if you want to sit and scroll through socials, scroll through the Mindful SRNA coaching page. Tons of great stuff on there. You'd be like, oh, I'm going to implement this today. I'm going to work this out today. I'm going to rock this, right? So if you have a coaching question, email me. I'll coach you on it. I'll coach everyone on it. We'll all learn. We'll all get better, right? And everything is on a private podcast. You get your own private podcast. All the members sit there and listen on the way to clinical, on the way to class, whenever. And guys, like I get coached too. It is the best thing that has changed my life. I get more done in less time. And I'm just able to bounce back, guys. Like, no more. It's just being like, this sucks. I've been in a pit of despair for 3 months now. We're going to like cut that in half. Okay. All right. So drop the price greater than 50%. Like just slashed it because I want y'all to be CRNA. You guys know this is my mission. You guys know this is what I do. I want more leaders at the bedside. More leaders. I want this and I want this for you. And I know it is possible for you. And I can help you get to the place that you think is so impossible. It's so possible. And I will help you get there. Okay. Questions or concerns, let me know. I heart you all so freaking much. Let's get coached. Let's save lives. Let's change our lives. And let's just freaking do it together. Right? Okay. Toodles.